Hey everybody, welcome to Sorta Casual Games Podcast. This is episode 12. My name is Jay, aka Mr. Ghost Protocol. I'm just one half of Sorta Casual Games, and my partner in crime, Freezer Girl, Karen, she's actually sick at the moment, so you're basically going to have to put up with me. So yeah, anyway, so I'm going to be doing this by myself. You're going to basically get to hear me ranting, talking to myself like some sort of madman. So, you know, got a lot to look forward to, I suppose, if you like listening to crazy people talking to themselves. Anyway, but yeah, anyway, so like, let's get this rolling. So as we always do, we always start off talking about what games we've been playing. And yeah, so basically, like the last game I played, I actually played the Resident Evil 2, the Ghost Survivors DLC. And yeah, to be honest with you, I actually like the DLC, but I'm not really enjoying it as much as I thought I would do. I thought it might have been a sort of thing where it was like some survivor missions and some that were based like in terms of like story. So you got to play story with other characters and stuff to flesh out the wider and the wider lore of the game and stuff. But it's not that. It's literally just 3 Ghost Survivor missions. So for those out there, if you've already played Resident Evil 2 and you've done the extra stuff, the extra missions like Hunk Survivors mission, it's basically that, but you just play with like 3 extra characters. You get to play with I think it's the mayor's daughter, if I'm not mistaken, the girl that was on the table when you went to go see the chief of police and stuff. And so you get to play as her, and you also get to play with the shop owner that had the little girl that was turned into the zombie. For the shop owner from the gun shop, you get to play with him, and you get to play as another Umbrella agent, I think. But I haven't played as him. Out of the 3, I've played and completed the girl, the ghost survivor mission with her. I completed that, and I've been playing it with the gun owner, but I keep getting to the end and I keep on dying basically. So I've played it but I haven't completed it, so it's really annoying. It's just pissing me off, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's really, really annoying, and that's why I haven't really been enjoying it, because I feel like, you know, like they give you limited ammo, limited you know, herbs and stuff, and you basically just got to run through zombies, and it's like, you know, when to use certain weapons, when to use health and stuff, you know. And it's not really like a free experience in terms of like, you know, you just got weapons and herbs and stuff, and as you're playing you can just pick up loads of stuff and you can play it and you can play it basically how you want. It's not really like that, you know. It's more like it feels more like scripted kind of thing, like you kind of have to play it a certain way or a certain few ways. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I have no idea, but that's just what I've experienced so far, so I can only talk about what I've personally experienced with the DLC. So yeah, I like it, but I'm not loving it. I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would be, but that's because I thought that we might have got a bit more in terms of the story with characters, you know, as I was saying, to flesh out the wider lore of Raccoon City and what happened on that night and stuff. But yeah, but for those who still haven't played Resident Evil 2 remake, go and get the game, because the game is fucking amazing. So yeah, I've been playing that. I've also been playing, of course, the Devil May Cry 5 demo. I love that demo. I can't get enough of it. You know, to be honest with you, every time I play the demo, I find myself just like looking at how beautiful the game looks graphically. Like the RE engine is a really good engine, and I love what Capcom's done with it, or should I say how they're utilizing this engine. You know, I got to see it with Resident Evil 2. Looks amazing. Originally got to experience it with Resident Evil 7. It looked really good, and you can see it's just improved so much since then. And it's almost I almost feel like, don't get me wrong, I haven't got like Devil May Cry 5 yet. I haven't played it in its entirety, but from what I've seen from the demo, I think it might look slightly better than Resident Evil 2, so yeah, graphically the demo is just amazing. I just found myself just like looking at the world and looking at the characters and just looking at the finer detail of everything, just taken back by it, to be honest with you. And yeah, the gameplay as well, the system, I can clearly see that there's a lot to play with, to find out, to manipulate, to just to have fun with. In fact, you get to use 3 different characters. Obviously not in the demo, you only get to use play as Neuro, should I say. But yeah, it's got me really looking forward to the game itself. And if I wasn't sold before this demo, I'm definitely sold now. And I think the fact that I keep on playing this demo, because I've been playing this demo every single time, at least 3 times a day, and I think the fact that it's got me playing it, like a demo, because the demo is not long, it's really short, to be honest with you. I think it's a testament to the potential of what this game, or what I think this game is going to be. So yeah, I just can't get enough of Devil May Cry 5 demo. Yeah, I'm just happy I'm playing it. Can't wait for the game to come out, not long now. And yeah, Devil May Cry. So I've been playing a bit of Devil May Cry 5 demo, or not a bit, should I say, a lot of it. And last but not least, I've been playing Resident Evil 7. After the last podcast last week, me and Freezer Girl Karen, we played together. We kind of got this thing where we agreed that we were going to play this game together. Originally, when this game came out, like you might have heard me say it before, but I had no interest in Resident Evil 7. I'm not really particularly into first-person games unless they're first-person shooters, and yeah, I was never really interested in playing this game, but when I got the VR and I got to play it in VR, sample it, I was like, damn, nah. And for me personally, I feel like that's the way that you should be playing Resident Evil 7 in VR. Can't get enough of it. So yeah, from last week, me and Freezer Girl, we played a bit of Resident Evil 7. Got quite far now. We got to the cruise ship bit. So for those out there who's played Resident Evil 7, you'll know what I'm talking about, but that's where we've got to. Actually, it might, you know what, like, you'll probably listen to me thinking, hold on a second, like, nearly every podcast you're telling me that you're always playing Resident Evil 7, haven't you finished the game yet? And that might sound weird to you, but the truth of the matter is that, as I said before, me and Karen, we kind of had to, got this agreement that we will only play it together, and there's only one time I didn't do that. It was like, oh no, probably a few months ago or whatever it was, where we played it and she had gone home, and because I was still into the game, I still wanted to play it, I continued to play it after she left, and she was very annoyed about that. But yeah, so basically, because Karen kind of gets motion sickness, we haven't really been playing it as much as I would like to. So that's why it's taken us long to complete this game. But I think we're near to the end now anyway. So yeah, hopefully we finish the game. But I'm really enjoying Resident Evil 7. If it wasn't for VR, I would not be playing it. If you haven't played it, I would recommend to play it, but try it in VR, because for me it's a different game when you play it in VR. So yeah, they're the games I've only been playing with, to be honest with you. I haven't really played anything else. I haven't even played the Vita. So yeah, that's it really. So yeah, so let us know in the comments out there what games you've been playing, what games you've been into. What games do you frequently play on a weekly basis, even if it's an old game, because there's games that I still play that I finished years ago. I still play Watch Dogs very often. Sometimes when I get bored and shit, I just put it on and just play it, because it's running around. I like the open world and stuff, and the hacking and all the things you can do in the world. So yeah, so just let us know in the comment what games you've been playing. Anyway, we move on to our next segment, and that is comics of the week. So basically in this segment, should I say, was it basically talk about the gaming comics that come out weekly. So for those out there who are into certain franchises like Tomb Raider or I don't know, Life is Strange or whatever, you know, like there's comics, you know, that flesh out the lore, the story, that give you more lore story after the game or before the game or whatever, you know. So if you're into comics and you're into games, then know that there are gaming comics out there, and possibly for, you know, your favorite game or the games that you're currently playing or into now. So yeah, so let me go through them so like everyone knows. So basically the first game is Anthem. Anthem's just come out, so surprise surprise, there's a comic. Yeah, so we've got Anthem issue 1 published by Dark Horse, so that's out there. We've got The Witcher of the Flesh and Flames, issue 3. That's also published by Dark Horse, so that's out there. We've got Crackdown 1, also that's published by by indie, I'm not sure who's actually publishing that, but Crackdown 1's out there for those, you know, who are interested in Crackdown. We've got Torque issue 2 published by another indie, and we've also got Bloodborne Song of Crows issue 9 also by an indie, published by an indie. So yeah, so we've got like 5 comics. It's quite a few. I think this is the most comics that we've had come out in the space of a week. And yeah, so for those out there that's a fan of any of these franchises, go out there, pick up the comics, you know, if you read comics as well. So yeah, they're out there. You can pick them up from your, obviously, if you're based in the UK, or you know, you can pick them up from comic book stores like A Place in Space, Orbital Comics, or Forbidden Planet. And for the worldwide, you know, wherever you are in the world, the wider world, should I say, you can pick them up from eBay. And I would recommend probably getting them from eBay from time to time, not all the time, because, you know, go to your comic book store, support that, you know, and buy comics, and actually go out and get comics, you know. But if you can't, or sometimes you might feel a bit too busy, then order them online, get them from eBay. And the beautiful thing about that is that most of the time you get the comic with cover and back and board, which is really good, which is, you know, you save yourself some money. So I recommend doing that as well. Yeah. Another thing as well, being that we're talking about comics, the last issue of God of War is out, and I've got it. So yes, so now I've completed the collection. So this is issue 4. I don't know if you can see this, issue 4, and it's done. It's like a short mini series. So basically got issue 1 to 4, and as I said in the last podcast, I was going to read this and do a review. So that is what I'm going to do. So I just want to let you know that I've got it, it's completed, and I will be doing a review of that and letting everyone know what I think of that. So yeah, anyway, so let's keep it moving, and we are now at the segment, the weekly PlayStation news. So let's see. So our first piece of news is Media Molecule Dreams Creator Early Access launches this spring. So yeah, basically I went on to the PlayStation blog, where you get all the beautiful PlayStation news, and they basically are just announcing that they're going to be not releasing, should I say, an early access, kind of like a beta or demo or something, you know, for everyone to play. But it's not going to be it's not going to be the full version. So it's going to be like it's probably going to maybe have, I don't know, maybe like 50% of the features and stuff. So it might have a bit of the actual game you can play, and maybe like 40-50% of the tools you can use to make games or make worlds or whatever. I've been hearing really good things about about Dreams. As I've said before, I've seen other creators and people make like PT and stuff, you know, using the Dreams you know, tools and stuff, which is like really cool. So like for those that are into game development or want to get into it, or that's interested in creating worlds and stuff like that, this would be a perfect opportunity to do that. It just says spring, you know, it's not particularly giving us you know, a date or a month. It's not saying early spring. It's not saying mid or late spring. It's just saying spring. So, but for those out there that is looking out for it, I would say, yeah, just keep your eyes peeled open for spring for Media Monocle's dream. So yeah. Anyway, our second topic is Shawn Layden says crossplay is ready and open to developers, says others. Now, the issue that that I've been seeing and hearing about with developers and stuff is that Shawn Layden is coming out and basically saying, for developers is if they want crossplay on their game, it's basically up to them. They just need to just fix, like just build the infrastructure to do it, and cool, they can just do it. But there are some developers that are saying, but that's not the case, because when we're coming to you saying we want to do this, you're giving us the runaround. So I don't know, it sounds a bit suspect to me. You got Shawn Layden, PlayStation, saying, yeah, cool, like, no, we're now open to crossplay, and if developers want to do it, they can do it. And we've got some developers saying, but that's not really entirely the case or the truth, So it's kind of like wires are being crossed. I don't know, something's a bit suspect when it comes to that. Personally, I think generally, I think games that are on multi-platform, I feel like they should be cross-played systematically anyway, because I feel like in terms of like what console you want to buy, or or what platform you want to invest in, I think that's more down to the exclusives. So obviously they're just exclusive to either PlayStation or PC or Xbox or the Switch. So I just think that, like, if there's games like Tekken or games that are multi-platform, I just think they should be multi-platform anyway, because it creates a bigger community. Like, I've heard some people say sometimes it causes issues when you want to do cross-platform with PC and console gaming, with the frames and stuff like that, and how PC might have the advantage because obviously, like, some games allows them to have higher frame settings and stuff like that. That gives them the advantage and the edge over the console gaming, because as we already know, on console gaming we'd be lucky if we get a game that's 60 frames per second. Yeah, sometimes we do, but it's not very common, and I think it should be common. I think that should be the standard, especially with the next generation. I feel like nearly every single game should be at least running at 60 frames per second by now. Come on now, we can't push these consoles just to be graphically amazing but still running at 30 frames per second in 2019 going into 2020 or 21. That's ridiculous now, come on. Or whenever these new consoles come out. Yeah, so I think in terms of crossplay, I think if it's games that's on multi-platform, they should be, but I don't know, what I mean? And it's weird as well, because I also feel like PlayStation are in a position where what does it even matter? Like, you're not losing any, like, I can't personally see how Sony could or would lose any money in generally allowing, developers to do multi-platform, to allow that. I just don't see how they could be losing money at this time. Like, the competition said and done, So yeah, anyway, so that's that. Actually, do you know what, like, let me know what you think about that. Like, do you think that that the fact that Sony's saying that developers can, but some developers saying that's not really the case? Like, do you think Sony's telling the truth? Do you think they're lying? Do you think there's some miscommunication? And what do you think generally about cross-platform, cross gaming across different platforms, just generally? Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that should be the standard, or do you think it shouldn't be? Let me know, because there might be something I don't know, so let me know. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving. The third topic is, after a year, Sony Entertainment President and CEO John Correa steps down to oversee PSN department. Sony Entertainment Europe Jim Rayn is now CEO of Sony Entertainment. Yeah. Do you know what? Like, I'm a bit, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned. The reason why I say that is because, like, my man was only in the job for roughly about a year, like just over a year or something. And now you've got like, you got this like Jim Rayn taken over. And the reason why I'm a bit concerned is because like he's made some really suspect comments and stuff, like he made a comment saying something like like when he went to some like one expo or something like that, he saw like people playing like PS3, PS2 and PS1 games and stuff, and he said something like, why would people want to still play them games, and I think he was more like referring to backwards compatibility and stuff. And I just find that really concerning that someone that works for Sony would talk negatively about your product, about Sony's product. I find that really weird. And this is the person that that they're making president of Sony Entertainment, so that doesn't really like bode well for us gamers that like want backwards compatibility, should I say. I'm not entirely sure about the numbers. I think the numbers might say, especially with Xbox and stuff, I think the numbers might indicate that not many people not many people actually are playing like the 360 games compared to playing Xbox One's games. But it still doesn't mean that like us as gamers, we don't want it. Like it's a really good feature to have, and I personally think that with this generation and going into the next generation, I can't see the technology and the specs being that much different or that much far ahead, if you get what I mean. Especially where like with this generation where we've had like the PS4, and we had the PS4 Pro, then we've got the Xbox, and we've got the Xbox S and the X and stuff. We've got these half steps, these half measures and stuff. I think it would be a perfect time to have backwards compatibility, even if it's just like for PS4 games on the new PS5 or whatever it's going to be called. It's probably going to be PS5, to be honest with you, but whatever that console is going to be called, I think the standard should be at least the PS4. Going back to like PS3, PS2, PS1, I don't know, like if they can do it, cool, but me personally speaking, I couldn't, I can't see myself playing like PS1 and PS2 games on, I don't know, like the PS5 for example. I just can't personally see myself doing it. Now if you're talking about the Vita, yes, I play the PS1 and PS2 games all day on the Vita. I've got loads of PS1 and PS2 games and PSP games and obviously PS Vita games on my Vita, because it you can get away with it. Like the screen is smaller, it still looks relatively good, so you can get away with it with the Vita. But playing like PS1, PS2 games on potentially the PS5 console, it's like, I don't know about that. Maybe PS3, definitely PS4, but but it just leaves me a bit worried, a bit concerned that like Sony's new CEO is talking like to say that it's not a big deal, and I think it is a big deal. And I just don't want to be like, it just, I just don't want to be seeing or sensing any form of complacency and arrogance. I just think that you're in the lead by a mile, shall we say. Sony's doing really well, congratulations to them. And I just think that you should stick to that. Stick to the, it's all about the gamers, and if the gamers want backwards compatibility, then give it to us. But with this new CEO, I don't know. Like, I haven't really liked some of his comments, but hey, we just have to just watch him and see what happens. But actually, do you know what? Let me know, what do you think about this new Don coming in? Like, are you concerned with Jim Rayn, the new CEO? Are you concerned about any of his comments? Does it make you feel a bit wary about where he might want to take Sony Entertainment, PlayStation? And what do you think about backwards compatibility? Do you want it? How important is it to you? That's it really. So let me know, because we've all got different opinions. what I mean, you might at school educate me about something. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So our fourth topic is PlayStation Store discount started yesterday. For those who are not aware, Ubisoft promotion games under £20 or more. Ubisoft got like a really good it was a really good sale, so go check it out. You can pick up loads of savings. Right now they've got Soul Calibur, games like Soul Calibur, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Grand Theft Auto 5 and more. So yeah, for those out there who haven't checked it or haven't realized it, Ubisoft are doing a few deals. If you're into Ubisoft games, Watch Dogs, whatever, go on there. I think it's like about 70% off. So yeah, that's really cool. That's about it. Oh, we've got a fifth one, the fifth topic. Let's run this down. Okay. So Worse Than Death is heart-pounding PS4 thriller from the creator of Home Alone with You. Yeah, actually, yeah. So I saw this on the PS4 blog. It's like one of the news that came out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and it looks like a really cool game. It's like a kind of retro game. It's like 64-bit pixel kind of game, side-scrolling game. That's what it looks like to me. It looks quite cool. I'm not sure. Like, see, the thing is that with like a lot of these indie developers, sometimes they make really good games, but for me personally, there's not that many indie games that I actually play and really are into, and I think that some of these games would have done really well on the Vita. Yeah, I know, like some of you are gonna say the Vita's dead, it's dead, it's done and dusted, like it's got a little heartbeat left in Japan and stuff. Yeah, I get that, and it's true, but I personally love the Vita. Like me and Karen, we love the Vita, and I know there's a lot of people out there that love the Vita, and if you have the Vita, I know you love it too. But I just feel like a lot of these indie games and these really graphically, these really like amazing graphic games, like I feel like some of these games could have been on the Vita, and they could have done the Vita like justice, like done it really well. It could have like kept it alive, could have pushed it a bit more, and yeah, but the game looks cool. If you're into them type of games, go check it out. Yeah, keep an eye on it, and yeah. But anyway, but that's just what I was thinking. I'm just talking out loud, because when I saw that game, I was actually thinking that this game like could be on the Vita, like it could do well on the Vita. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but anyway. So now we are moving on to the weekly PlayStation and general gaming news. There's not a lot, to be honest with you. It's only two topics here, Topic one. So yeah, Square Enix, they released the Final Fantasy 15 episode ARDYN PROLOGUE animation, which was only like 15 minutes long. I watched it, and to be honest with you, it's literally just talking about what they already like mentioned in the game anyway. Like, it's nothing really new. Like the only thing is that you get to see it. So basically, he's talking about like how ARDYN basically got infected by taking in the darkness, by curing everybody of the darkness and the demons from everybody and stuff, and taking it in within himself, and it ended up like corrupting him. But it wasn't just that, it was also to do with the betrayal of his brother and stuff, and so forth and so on, but these are all things that we already knew. These are all things that was already told to us in the game. Okay, we just didn't see it, but if you play Final Fantasy 15, you already knew about this, and yeah, it's the same studio that did the Brotherhood animation. I think it was like five episodes. Art animation's alright. I wish they would have found some like a better studio to do, better art animation. But yeah, it's good. It's not bad, but it's not great in terms of art animation. And yeah, and just yeah, I don't know. I think if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy 15, like I really like Final Fantasy 15, but I have a love-hate relationship with it because I just feel like with all these DLCs and stuff like that, I feel like it this is what the game should have been from day one. Like, how can you spend 10 years making a fucking game, yeah, and when you give us the game, it's like half-assed? I just don't get that. I almost feel like Square Enix did this shit on purpose. I just don't know. It's weird to me. And even though that, like, you know, they've released these DLCs, it's not like it's in the game. You know, it's like you have to come out the game to go into the option to play the Ignis story, to play the Propto story. You know what I mean? It's just really annoying. So I've got the Raw edition. I haven't played it because I was actually waiting until all the DLC was finished so I could play it again, because I know that it's practically like a new game. So I've been told, you know, like they've changed so much for the better as well. So I've been told. So I was kind of saving it. But when Square Enix announced that this ARDYN DLC was going to be the last one, only because they were probably like halfway through it when they announced that they was going to cancel it. Yeah, when they announced that, I was like, okay, well, cool. I'll wait for that. So obviously this has come out just before the last DLC. I'm not entirely sure when the last DLC is coming out, but I'm assuming it's going to be soon, because if it wasn't, they probably would not be releasing this prelogue episode leading up to the DLC. So yeah, so I don't know. The animation looked cool. I suppose it was alright. It wasn't anything new. I suppose it was cool that you actually got to see it unfold instead of just hearing about it. But yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like they're trying to make us like love these characters almost, or trying to. I don't know, because I was having a conversation with one of my friends earlier on in the week, and we were talking about Final Fantasy 15, and we were talking a bit about Kingdom Hearts as well. Hence why we got into Final Fantasy 15, and we were basically just saying that how, you know, like if they would have just like, because Final Fantasy games in general are always been really good story-based games. They've always told a really good story, a really good narrative, and some of them have been really character-driven, you know. So sometimes, like at certain points of the game, the story might not be particularly that great, but because the character is so good, or there's a lot to tell about a character, or a lot to go into a character's backstory, whatever, it's like it's held, you know what I mean, like held the game, held the narrative in the part where it particularly it's a bit light and stuff. And with Final Fantasy 15, it wasn't really like that, you know. Like the narrative and the story was, well, I mean, I think it was really poorly written and really poorly executed. Gameplay wise and graphically amazing, you know, but minus that, yeah, it wasn't particularly great. And I just don't understand how you can spend all that money on the Kingsglaive movie, even though I love it. I love the Kingsglaive movie, but I would have gladly traded the animation, traded whatever extra shit that they were doing on the side, just for them to put the time and money and effort into giving us a better game, better story, better narrative, better characters, story backgrounds or whatever. I would have easily sacrificed that just to, like, all them things just to get like a better story in the game, just better narrative, you know. So I feel like that's what they were trying to do with the DLC. They were almost trying to, you know, oh yeah, we know we didn't do this, but we're going to do it in a DLC. Cool, but why can't the DLC actually be a part of the game? Why do they have to come out of the game and play it? And ARDYN's just another one, you know. Is ARDYN the character we particularly really care about? No, but they could have made us care about him if they were just told a better story, you know. Anyway, I'm just going off on something else. Yeah, so if you've watched the Final Fantasy 15 ARDYN prelogue animation, what do you think? You know, tell me if you thought it was good. Tell me if you're into Final Fantasy 15, and yeah, and tell me if you're looking forward to the last DLC, because I'm sure it's gonna come out soon. Anyway, so yeah, let's move on. So our next topic is again on the PlayStation blog, they also announced that So what's it? Anthem launches with PlayStation, new gear and merchandise. The range is out now. So yeah, and that's like new clothing, new accessories for BioWare's blockbusters, including t-shirts, beanies, bags, and more. So yeah, I've seen it, and some of it actually looks quite cool. If you're into Anthem, then yeah, you know, it's a perfect opportunity to get some merchandise, you know, some caps and some beanies and bags and t-shirts and all sorts of other stuff that they're doing. So yeah, they just announced that today. So yeah, for those who are into Anthem, go out there and grab that. So that's there. I'm not really fast because I don't really have any interest in Anthem. You know, I can see that. You know, I mean, I can see what that game is going to be. You know what I mean? I already know, and the fact that I'm even hearing all the things I'm hearing about that game now, I'm not surprised. It's just another Destiny, if you ask me. You know, the greedy corporations. I'm just not interested. Give me single player games anytime, any day of the week. Anyway, we are now on to the segment. Well, my favorite segment is Game Dilly Dilly of the fucking week. Yeah, I know Freezer Girl, she hates when I say that shit, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so yes, so as I mentioned before, on the PlayStation Store, they've got a new discount that started yesterday, Ubisoft promotion. I think it's 60-70% off. Go check that out if you haven't. Get all your digital games from there if you're into Ubisoft games, and you can get games, get other pickup savings, games like Soul Calibur, Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and more. So go and check that out. That's there. To be honest with you, a lot of the deals haven't really changed from last week, to be honest with you. I've checked out other outlets, other websites, other avenues, and you know, yeah, not much has changed. There has been a few changes, a few you know, a few price drops by a few pounds and stuff like that. So but anyway, I'll go through it again anyway, just in case you didn't watch the last podcast. So on Shot2Net, you can get a PS4 Pro 1TB Red Dead Redemption 2 console for 349.85p. That's really good because you get the game, and I've seen other outlets that are just selling the console just for that without the game. And if you don't want the game, you can sell it for like, I think it's worth about 20. Like if you live in the UK or anywhere that's got CX, you can get about 27-28 pound cash, or is that part exchange? I can't remember, but you can sell it for a bit, so you can recoup a little bit of money if that's what you want to do. The same thing, we've got the PS4 Slim 1TB with FIFA 19 console for 299.86p. So that's really good as well. Same thing. FIFA 19 is not really worth much right now if you try to get rid of it. So I suppose if you're going to get that, be a fan of FIFA. Otherwise, there's no point in really getting it because you can't really recoup anything. Anyhow, let's keep it moving. Yeah, so we've got the Sony PlayStation VR version 2. This is a really good deal. It comes with a camera, VR World, Ace Combat 7, and you get to select your free item. So that's for 259.85p. That's a really good deal. And they've got another one which is PlayStation VR Mega Pack. This is the best deal, and it includes Astrobot, Doom, Wipeout, Elder Scrolls 5, VR World, Ace Combat 7, and you get to select a free item, all for £299.86p. You know, you might as well just pay the difference, really. You can just get that. So they have got FIFA 19 for £28.85p. This is still Shop2Net for those that are wondering. Resident Evil 2 Remake for £39.85p. Soul Calibur 5 for £42.85p. Marvel Spider-Man for £29.86p again. Red Dead Redemption 2 for £39.85p, and Metro Exodus for £44.86p, which has gone down because last week it was base.com that had Metro Exodus for, I think it was like £45 something. So it's like a saving of £1 or something. I don't know. Anyway, also for those that are awaiting pre-orders, are interested in pre-ordering games, Shop2Net do really good deals. Shop2Net's got a pre-order section, so they've got Red Dead Redemption, what am I talking about? Dead or Alive 6 for £36.85p, Days Gone for £47.86p, Anthem for £46.85p, The Division 2 for £43.85p, Mortal Kombat 11 for £37.85p. That's really good. And base.com, this is another site, really cool. They've got Just Cause 4 for so basically Just Cause 4 was £25.85p and it's now gone down to £22.85p, so you get saved a couple pound. That's really cool. They got Kingdom Hearts 3, and this has also gone down from £38 to £35 to £37.85p, so that's a saving of £1, and they've got Jump Force for £38.85p, and base.com does pre-orders as well. They've got Far Cry New Dawn for £30.85p, and they've got the pre-order for Devil May Cry 5 £37.85p. And just so that you all are aware that the posting package is free, so that's a really good thing. And the service is really good. I'm not too sure about base.com because I haven't ordered anything from them yet, but Shop2Net, A1 service. Like most of the time you get like a day before it even comes out, which is really good. So for those that don't have special privileges on YouTube, that have YouTube gaming channels and you want to get games and play them, Shop2Net are really good because sometimes you get them a day or two early. So yeah, check out Shop2Net and check out base.com. And that is basically it for the podcast. As I said, this podcast was going to be a bit shorter. It's just myself that's doing it, and Karen, as I said before, Karen Freezer Girl, she's actually sick, so let's hope that she gets better soon. But for the time being, you're probably just going to see me up here talking and giving you the weekly rundown of all the PlayStation news for the PlayStation gamers or gamers who just love games. Anyway, so let's sign out. So my name is Jay, aka Mr. Ghost Protocol. Thank you for watching Sorta Casual Games podcast. This is episode 12. You can feel free to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be much appreciated. What am I even saying? It'd be much appreciative. And yes, you can find us on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, Sorta Casual Games, and you can also find this podcast on SoundCloud on Sorta Casual Games. And just dropped my phone. Fucking hell. Anyway, so you can find us on SoundCloud as well. And what we tend to do on SoundCloud, we tend to always give a bit more content and stuff that you don't get here on YouTube, so you can find it on SoundCloud. So for those who are listening to this on SoundCloud, you always get a bit more than what we give on YouTube. So anyway, so thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will see you soon.